I'm Danny Hanks. I graduated from LaPorte High School in 1997, and I'm currently the general manager of Gringo's Mexican Kitchen. While in high school, I really didn't know what my expectations were of the future. I did know I had some aspirations to be either a coach and get into teaching and come back to LaPorte, or be a firefighter like my dad. But obviously, as I got into college and dabbled around in my classes, I was working at Gringo's as a part-time job, and really a lot of things started to pique my interest a little bit, and they offered me a management position, and the rest is history, and that was 15 years ago now. So it's been an incredible ride, but I can relate to you guys, the students, looking and wondering what the future holds, and having that uncertainty and that uneasiness, and it's okay. I did too. And I can tell you now, I manage 150 employees, several $1 million a year here. I'm actually in the process of taking on a new job where I'll be more into the vice president of operations, where I'll have 11 units under my care and almost 1,000 employees. So, from sitting at that desk as a student, not knowing really what the future holds, to where I am today. You never know. You just have to have that faith and go out there and work hard at what you're doing, be passionate about what you're doing, and it all kind of will take care of itself. It's easier to say that now, looking back, than sitting in that desk. But go out there and be ambitious, and you can't replace hard work. So if you were to sit here and come submit an application and you want to work for me, I can appreciate your individuality, and we all want to be our own person, and we want to go out there and make a name for ourselves. We're gonna dress differently and wear our hair differently, and we're gonna do different things. But as an employer, you're looking for someone that really, we're looking for some uniformity. We want to present ourselves in a very professional manner. So your image is very, very important. And while you can be that individual outside of work, while you're in work, we want you to maintain that professionalism and take the time with your hygiene and be professional and arrive on time. I cannot overstate how important that is to be dependable and be reliable as an employee. So as you come and submit an application to me, I'm really going to dig into that, and I'm going to find out. And even if you don't have a work experience, a lot of what you do in school speaks to the kind of person and the employee you might be. So you want to come in there and you want to have the reputation. Being tardy to class, it's going to follow you for a long time because you're developing habits right now. And again, as the employer, we want to know and have peace of mind that I can rely on you and count on you. And that's your character, that's your legacy, that's something that you can't ever shake. It's going to follow you to the grave. So it's important that you guys understand that as an employer, we really value that. It's extremely important. And you can teach a 2-year-old to come punch the clock. That's not what the employer is looking for. I'm looking to know that we're going to be better by having you, that you're going to make a contribution every day. One thing I would definitely want to share with everybody there is that I didn't get an education in management. Again, I didn't graduate from college, nor did my owner. Russell Ibarra, he graduated from LaPorte High School as well. He went on and he learned from the School of Hard Knocks as well, and he's built a multi-million-dollar company. And it's all about the hard work. It's about, again, the things I've spoken to you about already, and the integrity and the perseverance and the reliability. Russell can look me in the eye at 23 years old and trust me to run one of his units. And every day I appreciate that, I value that, I reflect on that, and realize the magnitude of that trust. And the sky's the limit. And I can tell you that I went from bumming a ride with a friend that gets to high school every day to, I'm traveling in a private plane, going to Las Vegas or going to Hawaii and enjoying all the perks of the success. And it's amazing. I never would have thought that I would have been there. And sitting there and wondering, what am I going to be if I don't graduate college? What am I going to be if I don't go out and get that degree that everybody talks about? Yes, it's important, and we would like to have those things sometimes, but it doesn't define who you are. If you really are passionate about something and you'll give yourself to any profession. There's a story that I read to my staff on a regular basis, and it's It's not the profession that determines your success, it's how you see yourself in that profession. And I really believe that to be true. If you go out there and just work hard every day, if you've got good character and integrity, and you make an impression on your employer every day, those opportunities will come to you. But if you want to go there and try to, fly under the radar and just do enough to get by, that's exactly what you're going to get. So go out there and be ambitious. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to be successful. Don't let anybody ever tell you that that's not the case. And good things will come to you. I am living, breathing proof of just hard work. And the sky's the limit. This job has provided for my family and allowed me to see things and do things that I never thought were ever possible. So it's very rewarding, very satisfying. It's very humbling to be entrusted with all the employees that I'm responsible for, and the multi-million-dollar business I'm responsible for, and you too can also have that opportunity. Just go out there and apply yourself every day and be the person that you were meant to be. You deserve success, you deserve happiness, and the sky's the limit, guys. Don't limit yourself.
Food products and processing engineers have an average annual salary of $68,000. Food quality and safety. Employees working in food quality and safety might be responsible for preparing, operating, or inspecting food products, processing equipment, and facilities. Careers in food quality and safety include food and drug inspector, meat cutter and grader, meat processor, and produce buyer. Specific job duties in these careers may include enforcing and maintaining regulations regarding the quality of food products, as well as various laws and regulations regarding food content. Another important aspect of these jobs is inspecting and categorizing food to keep consumers healthy and safe.
I basically have quality assurance responsibilities from the farm all the way through to the fork, to where the consumer buys our products. My job responsibilities is managing people, making certain that they're feeding their animals the correct nutrition package, the correct genetics are being used on the farms. They actually are watching animal handling practices to make certain the animals are moving correctly through the farm system.
Food quality and safety employees regularly work in shifts including evenings, nights, or weekends. Shift assignments are generally made on the basis of seniority and equal 40 hours per week. Most professions in the area of food quality and safety require a bachelor's degree with some on-the-job training, although there are positions which require little or no training prior to employment. People in this area should display keen attention to detail and the ability to work well with others.
Nobody gets all the skills out of the university. You will get experience, and through the experience you will, every single day is a learning process. Every day I go to a plant, something new happens.
Employees in the food quality and safety area earn an average annual salary of $43,830.
Chapter 2, Plant Systems.
Chapter 3, Animal Systems Pathway. People working in animal systems may study animal health and well-being, training, sales, marketing, and more. These careers include, but are not limited to, animal geneticist, aquaculturalist, animal nutritionist, veterinarian, feed sales representative, and artificial insemination technician. Now let's look deeper at the careers available, such as scientists, producers and inspectors, and doctors and technicians. Scientists. Animal scientists work to develop better, more efficient ways of producing and processing meat, poultry, eggs, and dairy products. Dairy, poultry, animal breeders, and other scientists study the genetics, nutrition, reproduction, growth, and development of domestic farm animals.
My main concern is animal husbandry. I do a lot of animal care of Xenopus, African water frogs. So we breed them, feed them, clean out their tanks, raise them from tadpoles to adults.
Some inspect livestock food products or work in sales. Animal scientists can work as extension agents or consultants, advising animal owners on how to better care for their animals and increase production.
I work as a professor, which means that I have an appointment that's 30% teaching, 70% research. And I lecture in 3 different classes. One is a meat and poultry products class, and the 2 are graduate courses, which I team teach with 2 other professors. I also conduct research. I have graduate students, both master's and PhD students, who work in the area of the meat and poultry products and food safety. We get into a lot of meat and poultry microbiology.
Typically, scientists in this field work a standard 40-hour week. Scientists working for federal, state, or university research stations may spend part of their time in a laboratory and the rest outdoors at dairies or other farm animal facilities. Training requirements for animal scientists depend on their area of study. A bachelor's degree is sufficient for people in managerial positions or applied research. A master's or doctoral degree is necessary for supervising and conducting basic research.
Well, a recent study from 12 different universities showed that the average starting salary for a student with a bachelor's degree in animal and dairy sciences was about $35,069. Once a student decided, though, to go and further their education and for example, get a master's degree in animal or dairy science, they would probably be looking at closer to $50,000 to $60,000 for a starting salary. And if they decided to even go further and receive a doctorate degree or a PhD in animal and dairy science, one might expect to have a starting salary of approximately $70,000.
Producers and inspectors. Animal producers select and breed animals using their knowledge of genetics and animal science to produce animals with the best traits. Animal producers might also breed animals simply to sell their offspring for money, including cats and dogs. Animal inspectors are employed by federal and state governments to ensure compliance with laws and regulations concerning the health, quality, and safety of agricultural commodities. For example, they ensure the meat we consume is free of harmful ingredients or bacteria. Other careers that fall into this category are poultry manager, livestock producer, pet shop operator, livestock inspector, and USDA inspector.
Responsibilities typically entail coordination of all the research activities down here, but also all the scheduling and building facility maintenance and virtually every aspect of the operation.
Animal producers spend most of their time outdoors with animals, but may also find themselves in laboratories or offices. If they are consulting, they may have to travel from farm to farm. Work conditions vary widely for agricultural workers. Inspectors may work long hours in mechanized plants or with poultry and livestock in confined areas. Some inspectors may have to travel frequently to visit farms and processing facilities. Education levels vary for animal producers. For those breeding livestock, a bachelor's degree or higher is recommended, with courses in genetics, animal breeding, and animal physiology. An agricultural inspector requires relevant work experience or some college coursework in fields such as biology or agricultural science. People who want to enter this occupation should be responsible, enjoy detailed work, and possess excellent communication skills.
We have some really tight time frames, for example, going from the end of calving season into breeding season and other times like that, and there's a tremendous amount of work to do, and it takes a lot of planning and organization to get it to come off in a smooth and efficient manner and get the necessary research data collected at the same time.
The average annual salary for animal producers is $28,144 and $31,033 for animal inspectors. Doctors and technicians. Doctors and technicians in the animal systems pathway play a major role in the health care of pets, livestock, zoo, sporting, and laboratory animals. They may do research to protect humans from animal-carried diseases, perform routine laboratory and clinical procedures, perform medical tests, and much more. These careers include, but are not limited to, embryo technologist, veterinarian, veterinarian technician, and artificial insemination technician.
My job is to do applied research in support of agriculture. And in this particular case, my current job involves doing pre-harvest food safety. The idea is to get rid of the pathogens that may be found in animals before they contaminate meat and food that people consume.
Working environments for veterinarians and technicians usually consist of long hours and being on call for emergencies. However, people who love animals get satisfaction from working with and helping them. Time can be split between the office and farm or ranch visits. Veterinarians who work in non-clinical areas such as public health and research will work in an office and have more regular hours. Training requirements vary depending on the area of specialty. A 2-year program is generally required for veterinary technicians, and a 4-year program is required for veterinary technologists. Veterinarians must obtain a Doctor of Veterinary Medicine degree from a 4-year accredited program at a school of veterinary medicine, as well as a license to practice.
My experiences in the variety of animal care professions that I've sampled prior to coming to vet teching have served me very well here. Further, I am pursuing additional education. It's worth it to get the specialization and the higher level skills that are absolutely essential to good patient care.
The average annual salary for veterinary technicians is $24,939. Veterinarians earn an average annual income of $79,357.
Chapter 4. Power, Structural, and Technical Systems. Careers in the Power, Structural, and Technical Systems pathway are for people with an interest in areas such as engineering, hydraulics, electronics, and more. They design agricultural structures as well as machinery and equipment, which can include anything from developing ways to conserve soil and water, to developing communications equipment such as radar, industrial and medical monitoring, or control devices. Now let's investigate further the career areas available in this pathway: engineers, technicians, and other specializations. Engineers. Agricultural engineers apply knowledge of engineering technology and science to agriculture and the efficient use of biological resources.
An overview of my job is I take the science and try to apply it into actual application. Try to come up with management practices using science and try to come up with ways that producers can keep in production, keep their bottom line intact, and also try to preserve the environment in which their facility is operating in.
They may specialize in power systems and machinery design, or develop ways to conserve soil and water, or improve the processing of agricultural products. They also work in research and development, production, sales, or management. Agricultural engineers typically work a 40-hour week, unless certain deadlines require extra hours. Most of their time is spent in an office, laboratory, or industrial plant. Some time may be spent outdoors at different sites. A bachelor's degree is required for almost any entry-level position. 2 to 4 year engineering technology programs are also offered. However, graduates of these programs are not qualified to register as professional engineers. Every state requires that engineers who offer their services directly to the public have licensure. Engineers should be creative, inquisitive, analytical, and detail-oriented. The average annual salary for an agricultural engineer is $67,777. Technicians. Power, structural, and technical technicians cover a variety of areas. A few of the careers in this field include Global Positioning System Technician, Recycling Technician, Electronic System Technician, and Communications Technician. These jobs can range from repairing computers and performing field tests to various aspects of communication.
We handle all the technical training for Meat Solutions. So we handle everything from animal handling all the way through the plant processes, cold chain management for our entire platform, which includes beef, pork, case-ready, further processing, and turkey.
Power, structural, and technical technicians typically work 40 hours per week. Many jobs are indoors. However, some, such as recycling technicians, are required to do a portion of their work outdoors in remote locations. A 2-year degree is generally required for these positions. However, the correct training can also be found at a technical school. Many employers will place new employees in apprenticeship positions, and they will have the opportunity to work their way up to more skilled positions.
No matter what job you're in, you have to be willing to learn and continue to learn throughout your career.
The average annual salary for technicians is $47,130. Specializations. The Power, Structural, and Technical System pathway also includes various specializations, such as a welder, remote sensing specialist, equipment parts manager, and machinist. Job duties range from using machines to make precision metal tools, building ships through metal binding processes, and looking at geological data to prospect for oil or gas.
It's a dangerous job. I've been in several situations that were pretty rough. I've been on extremely tall buildings before. I've been inside vessels welding, which have to be aerated. When we were offshore, we had to endure hardships of the sea.
These jobs usually require at least 40 hours per week. They are typically outside and can pose some health hazards, such as intense light, where caution must be observed. For example, remote sensing specialists may work outside to collect core samples to analyze. Many machinists work evenings and weekends, as well as during peak production periods. Training will vary depending on the area of focus. For example, machinists, welders, and remote sensing specialists can obtain qualification through apprenticeships, vocational schools, or technical colleges. People in these fields should be mechanically inclined. Welders need to have a good understanding of electricity, as well as an increasing knowledge in computers. Machinists need to have good problem-solving abilities, work independently, and produce highly accurate work.
Being able to comprehend, being able to read and do mathematics real well, you have to be able to do that real well in order to work on these high-priced tractors. And I found out, like reading micrometers, different tools you may take for granted in high school, you will have to use them when you get into the workforce.
The average annual salary for these specializations is $34,173.
People who work in the audio and video technology and film pathway typically enjoy turning ideas or illusions into reality. Their duties can range from operating and repairing video equipment to preparing audio-visual communications for corporate boardrooms, hotels, theme parks, and many other venues. Major divisions of the audio-video or AV communications industry include distributive service firms and AV presentation and communications products manufacturers. Each one of us comes into contact with this pathway every time we turn the television on, so let's take a closer look now at this exciting pathway. Careers in this pathway include, but are not limited to, audio technician, soundboard operator, video technician, lighting technician, service technician, field technician, electrical engineer, mechanical engineer, and project manager. The duties of a technician may include setting up, operating, and maintaining a wide variety of audio and video equipment, such as microphones, sound speakers, video screens, and more.
Well, basically, in order to light up this whole set and make it a functional, fully working set, about a day and a half worth of work goes in, from starting out from constructing a 24 by 24 foot stage to hanging up signs, all the way to laying down the transmission lines, the network lines, the power lines, everything that's required to provide an outdoor element or feel of a live production.
They may be responsible for repairing equipment such as televisions and radios, video recorders, and many others. They could find themselves installing home security systems, intercom equipment, home theater systems, and other surround sound audio components. Some may travel with their tools to complete a repair at the customer's home. Engineers in this field may have the responsibility of designing, developing, testing, and supervising the making of electrical equipment or researching, developing, and designing other mechanical devices.
There are many opportunities with students with electrical engineering degrees. Well, first of all, there are many of the engineering fields. There's probably 9 or 10 different engineering fields that students can get their degrees in. And specifically with electrical engineering, you can work on everything from little semiconductors and electronics that go into computers and computer-type equipment, all the way up to what we do, working on the power grids and the power supply side of electricity.
Project managers may develop requirements, budgets, and schedules to produce a successful information technology project for their firm. Working conditions for these jobs will vary. For example, technicians will work a 40-hour week, usually under pressure to meet deadlines, and may work overtime as well. Equipment repairers usually work in shops but may travel to customers' residences. Engineers in this field will typically spend their time in offices. Computer and information systems managers work about 40 hours a week but may have to work evenings and weekends when deadlines are looming. Education requirements will vary depending on the specific job. Electronic repairers can obtain the necessary skills at vocational training programs and should get training that includes both hands-on and theoretical education in digital consumer electronics.
Obviously, you've got to be able to kind of have an analytical mind as far as being able to think things through with the numbers and kind of think things through logically.
Engineers in this field can expect to need a bachelor's degree for any entry-level position. Management positions in this pathway typically require a graduate degree, such as an MBA, with technology as the core component.
As far as skills that are required to be successful in a career like this, the best thing you could probably start off with is a desire to be around technology. to be successful, you should know everything about your live set, whether it's, laying down power, whether it's networking, whether it's camera angles and lighting, all the way to audio. The audio is basically the key to a radio live set. So, the ability to have, all these things of interest is really where you probably should start out. One of these things should catch your attention, and you should be able to branch out to all of them after a while.
Computer and Information Systems Managers earn a median salary of $92,570. Electrical and Mechanical Engineers' median salaries vary depending on the level of education. They range respectively from $51,888 to $80,206 and $50,236 to $68,299. Electronic technicians earn a median salary of $27,955, while audio and video equipment technicians earn a median salary of $32,570. Production. Employees in the production pathway work with machines. They create and assemble electronic parts, construct modular homes, perform welding projects, and print materials, among other things. People in this pathway typically enjoy machines, controls, electronics, and all of the technology that supports the manufacturing industry. Let's look closer at the specifics of this pathway. Careers in the manufacturing pathway include, but are not limited to, assemblers, automated manufacturing technicians, bookbinders, calibration technicians, machine operators, medical appliance technicians, and tool and die makers. These employees may find themselves assembling the pieces of components of a product and joining them to make a whole product. These products can range from an entire airplane to intricate timing devices.
In my job, a production welder assembles smaller parts into a bigger part, and we weld that whole thing together and make one big part out of all of our little parts.
They may find themselves sewing, stitching, or gluing printed sheets into books, or they may monitor machinery during operation as well as load and unload the machine. They could also construct, fit, maintain, and repair braces, joints, artificial limbs, and other surgical and medical appliances. Finally, they may produce tools, dies, and special guiding and holding devices that enable machines to make products from furniture to heavy equipment. Most of the people in this pathway can expect to work a 40-hour week, but overtime is common during increased periods of production. Many in these fields work nights and weekends. Education for these careers is specialized.
The training that I had to have was a 6-week course through a local community college here. It was 3 weeks of theory, and then we did 3 weeks of hands-on.
A high school diploma and the ability to follow detailed instructions are key requirements for an assembler. Bookbinders and operators learn their craft through on-the-job training. Tool and die makers learn their trade through 4 or 5 years of education and training through apprenticeships or post-secondary programs. Medical laboratory technicians learn through on-the-job training, but many employers prefer to hire those with formal training. The median salary for assemblers, bookbinders, and medical appliance technicians is between $23,753 and $28,516, while tool and die makers earn a median salary of $42,744.
Chapter 2: Manufacturing Production Process Development. People with careers in the manufacturing production process development pathway work to ensure they produce a product to satisfy each customer's needs. They are also in charge of the entire manufacturing process and regulating the materials used to make the product. People in this pathway must be good at problem solving and technology in order to continue to produce high-quality products. Let's take a deeper look into this pathway. Careers in this pathway include, but are not limited to, design engineers, industrial engineers, labor relations managers, manufacturing engineers, power plant operators, precision inspectors, testers and graders, process improvement technicians, and production managers. They determine the most effective ways to use people, machines, materials, and information to make a product or produce a service.
Basically, our product today, there are many opportunities to improve it, and my basic responsibility is to improve the product and also make the product more manufacturable for our factory.
They may also implement industrial labor relations programs, control and monitor boilers, turbines, generators, and auxiliary equipment. Finally, they direct and coordinate all the activities required to produce goods in the United States so that production proceeds smoothly and stays within budget.
For instance, there may be on our combines an issue with a part of our machine. We may see that there are warranty claims coming in through our dealerships. I basically take that data coming in through the warranty system and determine what the root cause of the problem is, and from that root cause identification I come up with a problem solution and implement that into our production.
Working conditions will vary.
I've worked on everything from the B-1 bomber, the space shuttle, fighter aircraft. Right now we're working on components for the UCAV, which is an unmanned combat aerial vehicle. It's a stealth vehicle that requires no human beings on board, and it basically flies around, identifies targets, and then sends signals so that fighter jets can come in and either take out that target or it can actually launch missiles itself now.
Engineers typically work in office buildings, laboratories, or industrial plants. Some may spend time outdoors at sites where they are in charge of monitoring or directing operations and solving on-site problems. Some people in this pathway, such as labor relations managers, work a 40-hour week, except when contract agreements are being prepared. Operators work one of 3 8-hour shifts or one of 2 12-hour shifts. The majority of production managers work more than 40 hours a week. They may work late shifts or be on call to handle emergencies. Education requirements also differ among professions in this pathway. Typically, a bachelor's degree in engineering is required for almost any entry-level engineering job. Labor relations managers should preferably have a degree in a human resources-related field. Some employers may look for college graduates with a technical or business background, and sometimes even a well-rounded liberal arts education. Operators need to have, at minimum, a high school diploma. They should have strong mathematics and science skills. College-level courses and relevant experience are becoming increasingly important as the job market becomes more competitive. There are no educational standards for industrial production managers due to the diversity of manufacturing operations. Some employers may want to hire someone with a college degree, while others are content to let them work their way up the ranks without a college degree. The salary will vary drastically depending on the level of education for engineers in this pathway. They will earn a median salary ranging from $49,567 to $85,000. Labor relations managers earn a median salary of $66,530. Power plant operators earn a median salary of $52,530, while industrial production managers earn a median salary of $73,000.
Chapter 3: Maintenance, Installation, and Repair. Employees who work in the maintenance, installation, and repair pathway are the ones responsible for ensuring that machines, tools, and equipment remain in working order. They may also find themselves in charge of troubleshooting and repairing electrical, electronic, and mechanical systems. Typically, these people enjoy finding ways to make things work better and keep equipment well maintained to prevent the need for repair. Now let's explore some specific attributes of a few careers within this pathway. The careers in this pathway include, but are not limited to, biomedical equipment technicians, communication system installers and repairers, computer installers and repairers, instrument control technicians, job and fixture designers, laser systems technicians, meter installers and repairers, and security system installers and repairers. Duties of employees in this pathway range from repairing musical instruments to maintaining life-saving equipment such as defibrillators, heart monitors, and other medical devices. This pathway also includes employees who may install, maintain, and repair security and fire alarm wiring and equipment. As you can see, this pathway covers a variety of areas. The working conditions vary depending on the specific job. Typically, musical instrument repairers have flexible schedules which allow for a second job if needed. Medical equipment and precision instrument repairers typically carry normal daytime hours, but may also be on call at times. Most employers prefer to hire someone who has at least a high school diploma for entry-level precision instrument and equipment maintenance. Individuals with some post-secondary training are typically more attractive to employers. Having the ability to read and understand technical manuals is an important trait to possess in this field. Employees should also have the ability to pay close attention to detail, enjoy problem solving as that is the main focus of this field, and be able to work alone with minimal supervision. The median annual salary for precision instrument and equipment repairers is $44,200, while medical equipment repairers earn a median salary of $37,232.